It's September the 14th, 2014. I am the nuclearproctologist.org. My name is Dana Durnford, and you can get me at danadurnford@hotmail.com. On March 11, 2011, 3 reactors detonated, and a fourth one, the fuel pool at number 4 reactor at Fukushima, detonated. Each fuel pool is holding many reactor cores. So when the fuel pool in number 3 is missing, and it is, means many cores were aerosoled and atomized. And what this translates into is that we covered the coastline, a 200 kilometer, originally 16 beaches, and the ocean didn't recede the beaches. And we think, and we're pretty positive, that this is from Fukushima. Now, a Geiger counter, inside the trailer we're getting 30, it might bounce down to 10, it might bounce up to 50 here while we're doing this. But a glass of water is supposed to have 7,500 becquerels of potassium 40. 7,500 becquerels. You can see the noggin on the back. And so we'll hang on here. And we're blocking up the hole. And so we got 24. It's supposed to go to 7,500 becquerels, right? Isn't that what everybody says in the comment section to me every day? That is like natural background radiation, Dana. Well, there's supposed to be 7,500 becquerels of potassium 40. 7,500 becquerels of potassium 40, and the counter barely does anything because that's just natural fluctuation, back and forth, back and forth. Now, it's the same thing if you do it with potatoes. Potatoes are supposed to be one of the most radioactive foods out there, but it's potassium 40. Potassium 40 is homeostasis. Potassium 40, you off-gas that water that I just drank, the potassium 40. Now, if you want to measure potassium 40, what you do is you can't use a Geiger counter. It's not going to register potassium 40. What you're supposed to do is draw out a cubic meter of water and then weigh up the potassium 40. And for every gram, you're looking at around 25 becquerels. So a cubic meter of water, draw it out, take a potassium 40, weigh it up. And that's how you determine it. You don't take a Geiger counter and go over your glass of water to find out how many becquerels, because if they did, they wouldn't have to draw out a cubic meter of water and weigh it up by the gram and then divide it 25 becquerels each time. They would just take a Geiger counter and say, well, there's so many becquerels in your water. But it does not pick up potassium 40. Potassium 40 is homeostasis. Look it up. It's harmless. It's insignificant. It's normal. And the Geiger counter is not going to find that. Now, we're in the trailer, so don't expect any big numbers. But I had to put that out there, and I want you to take something else into consideration. That you're counting by the minute. I don't count by the minute. I count by 24 hours, by 30 days, by 1 year. And so for 30 days, you're looking at around the average of 48,000 a day. You're looking at 1.5 million. And that's atomic decay. It's got nothing, the counts we're getting got nothing to do with potatoes. Nothing. In fact, the potatoes are blocking up the hole. And so it's going to get lower numbers. Back and forth, back and forth. And if I had the time to sit here and show it to you and I had the bandwidth, I would. But water is potassium 40. It can't hurt you. But if it is picking up anything, it's an ionized, man-made element. And so the industry has been lying to you since the beginning of time, equating potassium 40 with ionized, man-made radioactive material. Everything on this planet is acclimated. Is superior selected over billions of years of evolution to deal with the potassium 40 in your bananas and potatoes and your drinking water. They don't register on a Geiger counter. And so somebody comes in and says counts per minute, they're either sucked into the thing or they're trolls. What you want to count is how many counts you're getting a month, how many counts you're getting a year. That's how you should add it up. Because each one of them is going to destroy a cell in your body and cause autoimmune deficiencies, go into your pelvis. If you ingest these elements, you're getting an x-ray inside your body every moment of your life. When you get an x-ray at a hospital, what happens? They turn the x-ray on, you get an x-ray, then they turn it off, and then you walk out. When you ingest a radioactive particle, it's turned on and it stays on, and if they cremate you, they will liberate that radioactive element and it'll float around for 1,000,000 years and find somebody else to crucify. This is the nuclear proctologist saying don't fall for the bananas, potato chips, walking in the sunshine, dental x-rays, chest x-rays,